To learn more about Cole Hollingsworth? Well, if you do, sit back and let me tell you. First off, I am Cole Hollingsworth, and today, in this self-disclosure speech, I would like to go over my background, education, and future career goals. I plan on talking about where my family lived and what they do. I also want to go over my education from preschool to currently, and I also would like to cover my future career goals. Let me take you back to day one. Day one for me on Earth was in Terre Haute, Indiana at Union Hospital. It was August 14th of 1997. I wish I could tell you more about this time in my life, but I must say, I can't really remember much. However, once I was old enough to remember, I know that my family lived in the small town of Parrish, Illinois. In Parrish, my dad was a lineman for the local rural electric provider Interstar, and my mother helped run the family business with my grandparents of a flower shop in Chrisman, Illinois. My first form of education was, of course, preschool, and it just so happened that the preschool I went to was located in the subdivision that my family lived in. After preschool, I went on to kindergarten and elementary school, where I attended Crestwood in Paris, Illinois as well. I was there until the 4th grade, and my dad took a position with Wind Energy in Sullivan, Indiana, which in turn forced my family to move to Sullivan, where I began the 5th grade at Sullivan Elementary School. After elementary school, I went on to Sullivan Middle School, and after middle school, I went on to Sullivan High School. At Sullivan High School, I took many ag classes, and as well as all the other courses necessary to gain my diploma. And I graduated in the class of 2016. After graduating, of course, I had to make a decision on what college I'd like to go to, but luckily for me, for quite some time now, I've known that I'd like to become a conservation officer, and the only school in the state of Indiana to offer a degree in conservation law enforcement is Vincennes University, so it was really a no-brainer. Before I started school at Vincennes, I really wanted to become a conservation officer in another state like Tennessee, but after starting school there and learning about all the specific duties that an Indiana conservation officer has and making many connections with officers in the state, I have switched my opinion and decided that I would like to become an Indiana State Conservation Officer. One awesome opportunity I had to make new connections was last summer I had the honor of becoming a camp counselor for the Carl E. Kelly Conservation Officers Youth Camp. I enjoyed every minute of it because you could really see how much it meant to the kids that were there, and it was also a great way for me to make new connections with current officers and get my name out there. In conclusion, that's really all I have to say about myself. Quick summary is we went over my background from where my family lived and what they do, and then we also covered my education from preschool to currently. We also went over my future career goals of becoming an Indiana conservation officer. Well, I hope you didn't find my self-disclosure speech too boring today, as I find myself a pretty boring guy.